This is Mark Blanton from the real South Africa, and we're just so happy and excited. We just got back from Durban, as y'all say. Yeah, it's in Durban. And what we're going to do today is just have some conversations, some short conversations. It's been a little while since we had an opportunity to talk to you guys. And for all those guys that are coming on right now, catching us, we truly, truly, truly appreciate that and so forth. We're going to have just some great discussions. Do you have anything to add, Tasha?
No, I'm just thankful that we're able to have this conversation. The questions have been asked a lot of times, and we know that, we're never going to have the right answers. So we just like to ask the people that have more answers than we do to answer the questions that you guys have. So we're happy to be here.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring you guys someone who actually was born and raised, lived here in Johannesburg. So you won't have to take my word for it anymore. You can ask all the questions and say all the things you need to say. So let me go ahead and bring her aboard right now. Oops. There she is. This is a good friend of ours. Her name is Gontse Make, and she's from the area, obviously. So I'm going to let her introduce herself to you guys. Go ahead, Kansai.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, good.
So my name is Gontse.
Oh.
And
my surname is Make. You said that right. It's actually Make, although mine is Ma. There are a lot of Makes. We're from the Limpopo region of South Africa.
okay.
That. I grew up in Johannesburg. I've lived in Durban before, but most of my life I've spent in Joburg. I've lived in Alberton, which is an area in South Africa there's big yards. I can say that.
Yeah.
Big yards. It's a neighborhood where it's very friendly. Everybody kind of engages with each other. And then I spent most of my life after that in Soweto. So I'm sure a lot of us have all heard of Soweto. That's where our grades come from, like the Nelson Mandelas or stayed.
Okay. So I'm not out of sort by saying that you're very familiar with Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Okay. So people, as we're going through this, if you have any questions, especially those in the U.S. about Johannesburg, we can get those questions answered today. And then, of course, those that are here, if you got anything to add to the conversation about Johannesburg, please feel free to add anything. I can say that we've been having a great time in your city. We've been enjoying it. Do you have anything to add, Tasha?
No, I love every bit of South Africa, whether it's Durban or Johannesburg. I love them all, and I love all the people that I get to meet, and I'm happy to get to speak to Gontse Make today. That's the best I can do.
Well done, perfect.
Okay. So tell us this, G. Tell us this. So what do you like in particular about Johannesburg, or what do you think people should know about Johannesburg? Because there's a lot of stories out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Johannesburg is, first of all, the weather's always perfect. It's always warm. Even the winters are not too cold. It's always just warm. I love the weather this side. Another perfect thing about Johannesburg are the people. It's so easy to make friends here. You can literally walk up to anyone and say anything, and just like that, you're friends. And there's so much to do here, and it's a city, right? And people normally want to go, when they go on holiday, they want to go to the beach or into the bush. But in Johannesburg, there's actually so much to do, even though it's a city. That's why I love it. I don't need to go far to have fun. Like anything I need, I'll find here. I'll even find a beach, even though we're not coastal, in Johannesburg.
Yeah. Okay. We've found that to be the case ourselves. So when we do have people that are coming from the U.S., they're looking like, specific things in South Africa. I want to go here. I want to go there. But we both know that, there's nowhere you can't go where you can't have fun in the Republic of South Africa, and especially in Joburg. Would you agree?
I agree. I think one of the best local attractions in Johannesburg would then be in Soweto, actually, Vilakazi Street. And
Yes.
I mean, you could like try African cuisine, have fun, go to Nelson Mandela's house, have fun. You could go on bicycle tours, go to the museums. Straight after that, you could go bungee jumping off the towers.
Yeah.
You can never be bored. And there's always a like a chisanyama, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I noticed you at the everything you said, and have fun, and have fun, and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So tell. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people coming in that's from Johannesburg, putting in their, this one thing about Joburg, or this one thing about Joburg. Do you have like a good Joburg experience that you had? That you can share with the people without getting in trouble?
Not getting in trouble. Sure.
Yeah.
How deep do you want me to go? I'm trying to think of a specific one. I should have thought about this. A specific experience that I had in Johannesburg.
Okay. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Well, we asked you to pick one you wouldn't get in trouble for. So obviously, whatever you're thinking, you're like, no, I can't tell that one. No, I can't tell that one. So we're just gonna skip that one.
I'll come back to it though.
Okay,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, when you find one that's safe to tell.
Yeah. So obviously, you grew up here, and we try to tell people on the U.S. side that the food here is incredible. The food is so that's really all I can say. People want to know specifically. Some people want to know: is it just lamb chops? Is it this? Is it that? What do you like? What? Tell me about the food here in South Africa.
I like it all, but let me give you sort of like a normal Saturday. You wake up in the morning, and what South Africans would normally eat on a Saturday morning is makwenya. You know, makwenya being fed cook. Oh my word, that doesn't help either, does it?
Okay.
No, I'm gonna explain what it is, and I hope nobody like judges me for this. So it's dough, ne? It's like donut with dough, and you deep fry it. No sugar though, no sugar. You deep fry the dough, and you can stuff it with literally anything like white liver, cheese, snook fish. You can go with your slab chip or fries, and yeah, that's what you eat for breakfast. And of course, it's very fattening, very oily, but come on, South Africa. It's breakfast, né? And then later, you have it with your tea. A lot of people are probably going to say the tea must have milk. No, it shouldn't, but anyway. And then for lunch, you just go up the road and you look for a bani chow, which is basically like, I think it's like a quarter of bread.
Yes.
And stuff it once again with slab chips, with an egg, with cheese, with sauces, nice spice, maybe a Russian and Vienna, and you just indulge with a 1.25 Coke. And that's what you would eat, and it goes down. So. And then later when the sun starts going down, that's when you start getting the beverages, the alcoholic beverages, which you can have with your tea. And you would have that at your local chisanyama, which is a barbecue, basically.
What is it?
A barbecue, but it's chisanyama. Or
so go ahead and say it. A barbecue is a flavor, right?
Yeah, just like barbecue is a flavor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Also remember about South Africa, the dirtier the place, the better the food.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So are there any locations that you like to go, like restaurants that's here now that you like to go to? Are they in Sandton? Are they in Randburg? Where are they? Where do you like to eat at?
I'm really a Soweto girl. And I would literally go to, I like Sakunzi, which is on Vilakazi Street.
Of course.
And you would get your buffet meals on Sundays, and it would be traditional South African food. Salmon, beef stews, and wholesome meals. So that's where I would kind of probably go normally. But if I am looking for a night of dressing up and wearing heels and being pretty, I would go to Sandton. I can't name places. I would go anywhere, wherever the road leads. But yeah, I think Vilakazi is definitely the best place if you want to have authentic experiences, especially with South African.
Yeah, I think we've had some good experiences in Soweto, for sure.
Yeah.
We had some really good experiences, some smaller little venues that are off the beaten path with some loud music off the side with some drums, and all of a sudden it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're like, wow, I've been here this whole time. Nice vibe and so forth. Okay, cool.
I mean, there are a lot of other places. You could go to Tembisa and find really nice chisanyamas as well. But it really depends on your vibe. Listen, I don't know, I keep saying chisanyama so many times because that's the thing that we do here. That's our vibe.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So why do you think African Americans should come to South Africa? I'm gonna leave it open-ended, and then we can probably close it down a little bit. But why do you think African Americans should travel to South Africa? What is your opinion?
Yeah, it's very affordable. First of all, so I think the money can really go a long way. You can literally do so many things.
Yeah.
And within South Africa, wait, did you say Joburg or South Africa? Sorry.
South Africa and Joburg. Yeah.
And Joburg. So the money really can go a long way. And the great thing is we have so many areas in South Africa. We have 9 provinces, and in all those 9 provinces, we have beautiful attractions. So you could literally start your holiday off in Cape Town for a few days, and visit. Now places have just kind of skipped my mind. Robben Island, you can do the winelands, you can literally move from there and go elsewhere. You can go to Joburg for a while, experience it. You can go to Mpumalanga, you can see the beautiful mountains over there. You can see the potholes there. You can move from there and find yourself in Kimberley looking at the big hole. There's just so much in every single province. You're not going to be stuck in one place. You're going to see the big 5. Next minute, you're going to see like a city with amazing lights, with amazing skyscrapers. So you're never going to be bored. And everything is so close to each other. So flying from Cape Town is 2 hours. From Durban, it's an hour. So you can literally visit all 9 provinces in one visit.
Okay. Excellent. What we're going to do right now, we're going to take a real short break. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with you in just a second. Don't go nowhere. All right, everybody, we are still here. And like I said, if you have comments, if you're interested in what we're talking about, if you have questions, feel free to just leave comments. We will display them. We will answer them as they come in. We are so excited to get an opportunity to chat with you guys here at the Real South Africa. I will also say is that I think we do our best to try to bring what South Africa really is, and try to get the people involved. What do you think?
I mean, the truth of the matter is that, we obviously are not South African. So in order for us to experience it properly, we have to do it with people that are South African. So people like Gontse make sure that we get things right. The people that are watching make sure we get things right. So thank you for all the corrections that you do give us. But that's the whole point. Like, we're not trying to, pretend that we're South African.
No.
We are very much aware that in order to get the truth, we have to go to the people that are from here. They tell us the truth often. So we're happy that we are able to make friends as easily as Gontse said, so that we can bring them to you and you guys can ask them questions for yourself or add to the conversation as well.
Absolutely. Cool. So now we're going to bring back Gontse. There she goes. Or G. and so forth. So yeah, say it. Oh, there you go.
G.
Okay, cool. Now another thing is I know that entrepreneurship is big here in South Africa. I mean, I know just going around, most of the people, the Black South Africans are looking to start their own businesses and expand into different areas, beyond what they were maybe raised to do. What do you think about entrepreneurship here in South Africa?
It's Entrepreneurship in South Africa is actually very important because we need to really empower ourselves, especially Black youth.
Yes.
We need to, our unemployment rate is not so great, and it's worse now due to the pandemic, the COVID-19
Yes.
pandemic. So, and I think that pandemic itself has actually really launched people and to actually start their own enterprises. And I'm actually one of those people. I started a mobile spa called Express Spa Mobile. And I think it's so important that we actually support each other as well. I think there's this saying that goes around that if you support Black, you have a right to negotiate and go cheap or whatever, which isn't the case. Every entrepreneur should sell their product honestly the way they would want to buy a product. And it's so important to have a side hustle. After what happened with the pandemic, you just never know when you're gonna, God forbid, lose your job or be on reduced salary. It's very important to have some sort of side hustle, and people are realizing it more now. There are things popping up everywhere, and it's actually very exciting. It's very nice to see people doing their own things. A job working for someone is great, but it's not. Tomorrow's not promised. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And it's so nice to empower yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your Express Spa and what services you offer, and what was the reason behind opening up the spa?
And before you do that, if you look at the bottom, people, all her contact details are there. So if you're interested, which I'm sure you are, in patronizing her business, there you go. So go ahead, Hanse. Sorry.
So the reason why Express Spa Mobile, I think, as I said, I launched it just, I worked on it during the pandemic, and people were going through the most emotionally, and people were going through the most, and you need to just relax and take care of yourself. Think of me first. And what better way to do that than to get a great relaxing massage? And you don't want to be stuck in traffic. Well, there's no traffic now, I'll be honest, due to the pandemic. But you don't want to drive, get a massage, and then drive home, and then that whole experience is gone because someone cuts in front of you. So the whole idea of Express Spa Mobile, is to get your massage in the comfort of your own home, relax, relax, and then they go, and then you go back to sleep, and you just relax. So it's about just taking care of your peace and health, and that's why I thought of Express Spa Mobile specifically. So we are in Joburg at the moment, currently, so we will expand. Okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think it's good, like I said, that we put you out on our platform just to let people know that that it's important to patronize businesses, especially Black-owned businesses here in South Africa, and even those in the U.S. as well. So those in the U.S. who got your Black-owned businesses, we've been there as business owners, and sometimes it's hard to get even our own people to patronize the businesses that we do have. So, and it makes it difficult. If you see somebody who has a business, especially a Black-owned business, trust me, they went through a lot of pain and struggle to get that up and running. And now that it's up and running, they just want people to appreciate what they do. And then, of course, you can look at the very bottom of the screen here. You got your IG handles for the business itself, and then, of course, the email and everything that you're going to need to reach out to her. And like I said, schedule your appointments. You'll be surprised because I like the idea of not having to leave your home, to get spa service. And I think are we clipping the nails too? Are we doing that as well?
Yeah. So manis and pedis as well, and fish, your full body massage, hot stone, the works.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I like that.
No, but the idea behind what you're talking about is good. You're right. You know, I've been at massages and I'm knocked out, like completely sleep. And then
Yeah.
they very lightly tell you like you gotta wake up and you're like,
Go.
oh, I'm so groggy. You know, but if you're at home, you can literally just like roll over and get in your bed and like, let see yourself out.
Yeah.
Thank you. So it's a great concept. I like it.
No, and it's good to, like I said, you know, I like the fact that even though we coming from different backgrounds, we come from, you know, different lands and whatnot, we connect through our melanin, and we're able to, you know, support each other in what we do. So, like I said, of course, I obviously appreciate you guys coming on. I mean, you coming on as well. So yeah, this is awesome. Somebody has a question here. It says, does Express Spa Mobile have a website, or do you book with her email? Gontse?
So we do have a website. Thank you for asking, Ebony. It is www.expresssparmobile.co.za.
Okay. That's good. And of course, people, if you have any questions, please just reach out to us on this platform. Obviously, you know, we will sign off, and you can always reach out to us at info@therealsouthafrica.com. And of course, you can always reach out to Gontse as well to, you know, for those people who need, you know, who need spa treatment, especially those who, you know, who don't work all day. You know, they've been building that home all day, and now they're tired. You know, just, you know, ladies, call and have Gontse's team come in and make sure your man is okay. You know, we need that too. We need spa treatments as well. Am I right, Gontse?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do. People like to forget about us. They do. They love to forget about us men, but us men, we are sure enough, you know, recipients, or we need to be recipients of spa treatments and so forth. So we're glad that your business is up and running. And of course, people, you can always contact her. Her information is at the bottom. And then I would say, go ahead and contact her now, write it down, screenshot it, do what you got to do, send a smoke signal. I say that a lot, and reach out to her team. She'd be more than happy, and especially, you know, during this, you know, pandemic, you know, to keep people employed and working is always a good thing.
Always.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say, Gontse, about your business?
So yeah, we come to you, don't forget. And within a 25-kilometer radius of Stanton, we don't charge for travel fees. So it is very affordable. Check it out now. And we're still in Feb. Hey, Feb hasn't ended. We have a special running actually for the month of love. So take advantage of that.
Okay. Excellent. All right, you guys, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be right back, and we're gonna talk a little bit about culture, the culture. All right, everybody, we're back, and we're here with one of our guests, Gontse Make. I'm probably saying it wrong. I feel bad, but I do the best I can.
So much.
She said you're improving.
I'm improving every day, hopefully, and whatnot. So let's do this. Let's talk about culture, because and the only reason, and I bring this topic up because most people on my side of the planet, which is in the northern portion of the hemisphere, don't know much about South African culture. They don't understand it, and a lot of times they think it's only one culture, and it's really not. It's a plethora of cultures. So obviously, you belong to which culture do you belong to?
Betty.
Say again.
I'm a Betty girl.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. So there you go. So everybody's not Zulu. I just want everybody to know that.
Hey.
Okay, good. So now, in your culture, now, could you explain some things about your culture? Because and I want to also say too that sometimes, and I'm talking to my South African friends, that some of the things that you guys do actually is in the African American culture. You just go with a different name,
Yeah, for sure.
a different situation, but it's the same. So as we have conversation, it's very similar. And so forth. So tell me a little bit about the petty culture.
Well, to be quite honest, I grew up in Joburg, ne?
Yeah. Okay.
Petty people, and I don't know much about the petties.
Okay. Fair enough. But you
However,
do claim.
the petties are very, very colorful and vibrant. We wear the bright pink, bright blues, bright yellows. Those are the colors that we wear. You will find them in the Limpopo areas, and that's where we grow a whole lot of mangoes.
Yeah, mangoes.
The point is that I don't know much else about my own people, but that's what happens when you don't grow around them. But I've been staying in Soweto. Soweto it's mixed, right?
Yes,
I
exactly.
grew up in Tswana home though, because my mother is Tswana.
Okay.
And my father is actually Bedi, and I have married a Zulu. So there are so many cultures. On top of the cultures, there's also tribes within the cultures. Like me being a Bedi, I belong to please my people don't judge me. I am a Mulebedu.
Okay.
Tribe within the Bedis. There are different tribes. I don't know them all. And every single culture has its own tribe as well. I love it.
Okay.
It's just so much.
Yeah. It's interesting from our perspective because, like, when we travel around the U.S., we don't say it. We don't say tribes. We kind of say, like, for example, if I go to New Orleans, I'm talking to people from New Orleans. They are different. They have some differences, but we don't like break them down. We still kind of have everybody in the same group. If you go to California, you might be from the West Coast, but we still treat you, basically the same. East Coast, very, very similar, things along that line. But we've noticed here that, there is a lot of differences between the cultures, and especially in Johannesburg or Joburg or Josie, as we like to call it, they all exist here. Would you agree? All the cultures exist here in Joburg?
All cultures exist in Joburg. Everybody kind of migrates to Gauteng, which is it's Gauteng is Botswana, and it actually means city of gold.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is why you'd literally find everyone here. Everybody sort of back then wanted to be in the city of gold because this is where you make them.
Yeah.
And look, the thing about tribes is it's actually so deep in terms of your surname as well. I remember I went home to Northwest, to my father's mother's side of the family, to the Northwest, and I hadn't been there since I was a kid. And we couldn't, it's in a village, it's like deep within Brits, and we couldn't find the house, obviously, because GPS signal does not exist there. And there are no tar roads, like it's very, very villagey. And all you have to say is your surname, and they will tell you exactly where to go. You say, I am looking for, mention the surname, and they say, oh, the Mac is, okay, you go this way. That's what I love about it. It's not a thing of who, it's still very communal, and I like that. So that's one thing about culture, that our surnames are so important. Yeah, our surnames are really our identity.
Yeah, like I said, we notice that people take it very seriously. Various names matter here in sunny South Africa. I will say that without a doubt. Was there anything that you wanted to add to that?
No, the fact that you got confused with the whole deepness of it, I'm like, it's too much.
Yeah. So
I can see you being corrected there on how to say it. Thanks, guys. My bad. I tried.
Because I think people don't realize, especially in America, that especially if you grew up in Joburg and you're here in Joburg, I mean, there's so much mixing going on. That's not even talking about Pretoria, which is up the street. And if you don't get back to to where your province or your ancestral lands, so to speak, yeah, you can, just like anything, you can misplace it from time to time. And so that's why we like during the festive season. Everybody seems just to go home. Everybody leaves, and they go to the villages, they go to their townships, and you don't see them until like January the 12th of January.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true.
It all makes sense now. We're talking about cultures, and I want everybody to know that. And so what we're going to actually talk about is something that we hear a lot about on the radio. We hear it everywhere. And it's a word called, since you just went through the process, it's called Lobola, right?
Yeah.
Now, Kansai has her own Lobola stories, and we're going to just pay attention to it and just see what it is. Now, there's going to be some similarities to some cultures, because we just explained that there are several different cultures, and then there's going to be some similarities as well. So her story might not be just like everyone else's, but we're going to listen to her and find out all about this Lobola from her perspective and what she had to go through to get through the process. So, Kansai.
Yeah.
Tell us about Lobola. What does it mean? What does it do?
So this question is very controversial.
Exactly.
It's very controversial because I know a lot of my brothers and sisters will say that it's a traditional African marriage. Correct. And I say, and a couple of other people say, it's an engagement.
Okay.
Yeah. So Lobola is literally the man's side of the family coming to the woman's side of the family to literally show appreciation and honor, to thank them for raising the beautiful daughter, hopefully, and to bring an offering to the family. They negotiate a price, which was cows, which is now obviously in monetary value rands. It's a way of joining families and letting them get to know each other. And I say it's engagement because during this process, you then need to discuss a date in which you're actually going to have the wedding ceremony, where you're going to slaughter ancestors, which is why I say Lobola is the traditional engagement.
Okay. Now, I know initially when I asked you a question, you said it was controversial. I can honestly tell you, I know in the summer months here in South Africa, we see a lot of weddings, traditional weddings, white weddings. We see a lot of weddings. So it's happening. It's happening. And of course, you went through the process. And so, again, could you and you said it was more of a man's situation, I assume. Can you tell us a little bit more what happened through your process?
Yeah, sure. So basically, the letter arrived first, and the letter is sent by a family member, and the letter is sent to my family. That's basically saying that his side of the family, their surname, they would like to come and discuss Lobola or Mahadi. They would like to take out Mahadi for their daughter. And correct. Obviously which daughter, and they said in the letter which date they were going to come. And indeed, we then responded saying, great, the date works for us, the date doesn't, and they do come.
Yeah.
When they arrive at the gate, I think every family does it differently. Before I can say every culture does it differently.
Okay.
Yes.
Every family does it. So what we did, we went, the Mahadi came to my mother's home, and not my father's home, due to reasons that I'm not going to get into. But generally, I have to go to the father's home, right? Which is the home. And they arrived on the day, and they basically knocking at the gate. They're like, hi, open for us, go. And there's someone at the gate standing guard on some On some, show me the money, show me something. You can't just come empty-handed, and then they present a gift, being money or like a bottle of something nice, and then they were welcomed into the yard. After that, they had to kind of also give an offering to get into the house.
Of course.
So my situation is unique because when they actually got into the house, and my uncles are getting ready to act serious on some, bulumlomo, which means direct translation, open your mouth, sorry, and kind of money or a bottle of something strong before they can actually talk. My situation was unique because at that moment, my uncles were like, oh crap, we know these men. And these men were also on some, oh my word, we know these guys. So they couldn't be all serious with each other because it was like a reunion for them. It was like, oh my word, long time no see, how is everything? What a small world. But yeah, generally that's what then would happen. And then that's when they start getting into the talks, which I am not allowed to be part of. Of course, I am in another room. I can't listen to what they're discussing. I can't listen to how many cows they're willing to bring and my family is willing to accept.
Mm-hmm.
But once they reach that agreement, they take out the amount of money and they put it on the table or on the mat. And not all of it, because once you pay all of it and you just put the cash there, it's a sign of disrespect. It's like, oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah. What are you trying to prove, So you then, kind of give a portion, and then they then discuss that the rest of it will be brought on a certain day, which they agree to and sign, and everybody signs, and everybody gets a copy.
Okay.
After that was done, it was the fun part where I then had to come out of the room with my sisters or my cousins, and we were all covered up all the way, covered from the head all the way down to the toes, and they had to identify their makoti, their bride, me. And if they got it wrong, they would
hold on one second. Let me ask you a question. Well, actually, there's a question that was asked, and you can see it on the screen.
Okay.
What do you say?
The question from Ebony. So it's an arranged marriage ceremony. No. So it's not. This is somebody that
you pick who you want to marry. Is that correct?
Yeah. It's literally like a man proposing to you, but this time he's not proposing to you directly. He needs to propose to your family with a letter saying that I want to marry your daughter. It's not arranged at all. This is somebody I was dating. He's just not allowed in the house. They don't know him, they don't recognize him until he has showed intention to marry me through Lobola. So it's not arranged,
I got
you. Okay. So now, if there's somebody from outside let's say it's an American, comes over here and falls in love with a South African woman, there's a question here. It says, so when I get my South African wife, which she's obviously planning, I plan on getting my South African wife, will he have to pay Lobola?
Yeah, but not everybody follows traditional customs. You might find someone who says, I don't believe in it, and they just want the ring and then done, So it really depends on the woman that you find.
Okay. So now you're at the house, they're trying to identify you. Is that about right?
Yeah, because you can't come here and say, I want to marry Gontse, and you don't know who Gontse is. So to be honest, I think that's just the funny element of it. I hope someone can correct me, because honestly, what happened there, we're covered. There's no way you can tell who's who. And you kind of have to guess just by the way she walks or the way she kneels down that this is Gontse. And you get it wrong, we fine you. You get it wrong, we fine you. And eventually they got it right, a couple of hundreds later. And once they identified me, they took the covering off me, and a blanket covering me, and they prepared like a mat for me, and they then covered me with tuku, a head wrap or head scarf, né?
Yeah.
And they gave me a blanket over my shoulder. And
Okay.
then they came for the second round. Hey, COVID happened, so it was delayed quite a bit. And the second round was when they were coming to kind of bring the balance of the cows.
Yes.
And the same process happened, except this time they didn't have to identify me because they already know who I am, right? And after that, we have a nice lunch and we just enjoy each other's company. You don't have to do that. We just like feeding people at home. And that last day with the Lobola, that's when they discuss when it's coming to actually marry and actually go to the cows. I know some families do it on the same day.
Yeah.
We don't, because we believe that the money received should actually be presented to the ancestors for at least a week. It should stay on the mat, we should pray over it, and we should give it to them and let them do what they gotta do for at least a week. And then we have the actual traditional marriage.
Okay. Good. Wow, that is a lot going on. I will definitely tell you that. There's a lot going on. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a short break. I know some people's heads are spinning about, getting married here in South Africa. So stay tuned. We'll be back in about 30 seconds.
Summer love, you be shining so bright. Look up at the sky, you the stars at night. Summer love, you be shining so bright. Summer love, you with my summer love.
And we are back with Kansai. She's telling us about her personal experience with Lobola and whatnot. It's not a mystery. It seems like there are other people in other, because we're looking at the chats here, and there are people in other countries that actually do the exact same thing. So it's not just a purely South African thing. But for that one young man who was coming to get his wife, you probably will have to go through the process, So as you see right here, Francina Harvard says, Lobola is showing respect for the family who she's married into as well. So,
Agreed.
Okay, great. I don't know if you remember where you left off at, but if you can continue to tell us your journey.
Cool. So we were done with Lobola, and now we're getting into the actual marriage ceremony, right? What's this piece to this? Okay, cool. So what happened was, on my side of the family, because we started, it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
It was a lot. I've never been so tired in my whole life.
Were you in Limpopo?
Hey?
So you were getting married in Limpopo or right here in Joburg?
Oh no, it was this side. It was in Joburg.
Okay,
It was my father's side of the family, and unfortunately that couldn't happen. So I did it here in Soweto, which is where my mother resides. So it was a tiring time. On my side of the family, on the Thursday, we had to get 2 chickens, a female and a male white chicken, and we had to slaughter this for our ancestors, and then go and visit them at the graveyard and talk to them. Our pasha, and we talk to them and we pray and we ask them to show us the way and that the proceedings go accordingly. We tell them exactly what's happening. We must include them. We tell them that these are the people that are coming. This is why they're please welcome them. Please help us. Everything goes smoothly. And thank you if you want to thank them for anything. You talk to them, right?
Correct.
And then we went back home on the Thursday and we ate chickens and we just chilled vibes and kind of prepared for the next day. So we cooked our own food. My family, we like I said, we like feeding people, and we want people to experience us, inviting you to our home. So we didn't get catering, we did everything ourselves. Won't advise it for the next person. But anyway, so Friday morning came and his family came to my home. And it was fun, there was singing, it was lit. No, I'm lying. No, it was fun and lit, sorry. But in the morning, they had to arrive in the morning during the day, and they had to bring their goats, and we had a sheep, and we had to slaughter them so that we could then swap. We gave them a portion of the sheep to take home. They gave us a portion of the goats to keep. After slaughtering, we have to take the bile of the animal that we are using as sort of a sacrifice to the ancestors to bind Lucky to our family and to welcome him so the ancestors recognize him, and we put it on his face, we put it wherever, and he needs to keep it on until the next day. Right? This was on Friday, yeah. And then Saturday morning, they came over to my home and we had a nice time. It was wedding celebration, we were eating, there's music, it's lekker times. But then the serious thing comes in, and we need to exchange our gifts. And we then had to dress them up. We put a blanket over the mother, gave the grandfather a hat, because they gave us a list of how many people we should be dressing, cover our best. And that's what we do. Some families go big, they buy each other fridges, they buy each other microwaves, beds. We are not balling out of control. We did simple. Simple broom, blankets, beautiful blankets. That's what we did, and we ate, and it was beautiful. And then that evening, they had to take me to his home, and I had to stay there for the night and miss out on the party. I had to stay in the room all night. But it was a beautiful experience because I've heard so many stories of the Makotis being abused while they were there. Make tea, wash the dishes and stuff. I think they were amazing. They really treated me like a diamond. And when I arrived, they did the same to me with the bile. They talked to their ancestors and they welcomed me to their side of the family, right? Now that that's done and the blood has been spilled and the bile has been put on you, you are officially married. Yeah?
Okay.
In the morning.
So it's real. At this point, it's real.
At this point, it's real. And then in the morning, it was a Sunday. It was at his house now. We had the celebration there. I got to bath. And they then gifted my family with their beautiful blankets and beautiful dresses and everything. And then we got to eat. And I finally got to party like a
married woman.
Yeah, and load shedding was supposed to happen that Sunday, and we like praying to the ancestors. We like, please don't let Eskom do this to us. And listen, there was no load shedding that day. You know what load shedding is now, hey.
Yeah, and for those that are in America, Eskom is the power company. They control all the power. Okay. But at the end of the day, I think, like I said, we see it all the time here in South Africa. We see the beautiful, elaborate weddings that you guys throw. They're absolutely amazing. One day we were in Cape Town, and we just happened to just be in Kirstenbosch, and those that are in Cape Town know exactly what I'm talking about. And it was like, yeah, I'm going to a wedding. You want to go? And we're like, yeah. And we went and we screamed like everyone else. We had a good time. And the arrival was great. The music was awesome. And so, but yeah, I just wanted to bring up, to people that that there's a lot of culture here, and it's one of the things that I see a lot is a lot of cultural stuff, and that's what you learn when you spend time here in South Africa. Even as a tourist, you're going to get a crash course at a table at a Shejinyama over some meat, lamb chops and ribs or whatever about South African culture, and I think it's something that we all need to learn about. And of course, sharing your story definitely helps. What do you think?
I think that sharing is caring. But I don't mean that facetiously, because when you guys share stories like this with us, to me, it's showing me that you care enough about us to share your story and say, this is what Lobola was for me. And I've heard several different stories. We even got to see one up close and personal, some
Yeah.
negotiations, and it did take all day. And we got to see the cow being slaughtered, and we got to see the blood being spilled. So we understand that each culture is different, but we
Yeah.
love to hear stories like this because we always know that we're going to learn something about how each family, like you say, is different, how each culture is different. But at the end of the day, I think that there's a lot of similarities, and that's where I want everyone to actually connect upon that. There are a lot of similarities, and you need to understand that you are married a family. And I think that's some parts that, we may have gotten away from, maybe in a more westernized culture, but you are married into a family, and it does show respect, and that's kind of, what it sounds like to me you went through. And I'm thankful that ESCOM didn't load shed on the day that you were that you were able to eat, because it sounds like you like to eat a lot. It sounds like you like food.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Okay. Well, Gontse, we appreciate you coming. I will again, while I am chatting, we'll talk about your business one more time. Gontse definitely does have a business here. She's a businesswoman here in Johannesburg, South Africa. She can tell you a little bit more about her business right now, since I'm not going to say it.
I think earlier someone asked me about the website, and I'm so sorry. I added an extra word. It's www.expressbar.co.za. Yeah?
Express Spa, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, expressbar.co.za.
Excellent.
The Instagram page has mobile at the end. So yeah, once again, we are an express spa mobile service. We offer spa treatments, whether it be your hot stone, foot massage, facial, as well as your manicures and pedis, and we come to you anywhere in Johannesburg. And if you're in a 25-kilometer radius of Stanton, we do not charge an extra fee for travel. And it's amazing, really check it out. You can relax in the comfort of your own home, kick us out and keep sleeping. It's really amazing. We still have that special running, so take advantage of it. It will end at the end of this month. So
Excellent.
yeah, check out the page. Contact me if you have any questions. I will definitely help you.
Thank you so very much. You know how much we love you.
All right, girl. Have a good day.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. You guys have heard it yourself. You heard a great story about Lobola, but it's more along the lines of, how can I say, culture. There's a lot of culture here in the Republic of South Africa, and that's one of the things that we always talk about that it gets missing sometimes, simply because, how can I say it? People are more worried about the political, the politics, the things along that line, and there are other things going on besides that. And I would say it's the people. And we, like I said, we've been invited to a lot of different cultures. We've partaken in a lot of different cultures. So our South African hosts have been very gracious to us. And like I said, we appreciate everything that they have done for us and what they're going to do for you. Once you get here as a tourist, that's always the gateway. That's how it starts. And then from there, you can pick up the rest. Is there anything else, Ms. Tasha?
Thank you guys for watching. My spiel is always the same. We want to see you here in South Africa so we can introduce you to people like Gontse and other South Africans that are doing great and wonderful things in the entrepreneur space. And really just show you that, there is also space for you. They've made space for us. They've welcomed us. They will welcome you. And when it's time for you to plan your trip to South Africa, please reach out to us. You can always send an email to info@therealsouthafrica.com, and we'll be happy to assist you in planning your trip. So we are right here standing by.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.